Okay.
So, okay, I'm going to train you on how to use boom cards, and then like how to log in and like where you go to get the boom cards, and to show you like an example of what your students would be doing. So boom cards is online. It's free flashcards, and they're interactive. So like I use mine on the iPads, and it's like drag and drop, and it talks to them, and it scores it right on there for you. So the kids get instant feedback when they click it. They check it, get the right answer. It'll go green, and if not, it'll go red. And so then they have to redo it before they can go to the next one. It's just a really fun way for them to be able to use flashcards, and it's easy for them. Even like my first graders can do it all the time. And then they have everything from letters, phonics, you can do math. I've even looked on there, they have stuff for social skills, and there's tons of different things you can use boom cards with, and like I said, it's all free. Now, you can pay for like a year's worth, and there's just some different levels on that. Basically, the difference is the free version, you can just do fast play, and I'll show you what that is. And then the paid version, free version, you do fast play, and then they just play the game and it doesn't record data. Now, if you pay for it, it actually records their answers for you so you can track their progress with what they are doing. Like I said, all those things, I think my favorite part is paperless, so you don't have to cut and paste and try and glue all the flashcards together. Again, it's self-grading. They get instant feedback when they use it, and it's interactive, especially for your kids who need that touch, hands-on kind of interaction. Anytime you buy, so you do have to buy your decks, but they're in your library forever, even with a free account. They never disappear, and I've had some that I bought 3 years ago in my library and use them every year. So, let me show you. So this is what it looks like when you open it. So this is just my account, and like I said, this is the free one, so you can't, I don't have any classrooms, but if you were, you could have each different set of classrooms here, and then you can assign things to your students for them to see. So if maybe you want 5 kids who are really struggling with the long A sound, and then 5 kids who are struggling with the long O, you can assign them different decks to play with instead of everyone doing the exact same thing. So if you go into your library, so I have all my ones I've ever bought before on here, and so I use this for phonics a lot just because we have so many different sounds that we have to go over. So it'll just tell you, and like I actually bought these on Teachers Pay Teachers and downloaded them to boom cards. There's a store here that you can buy them off of, but I found that the ones on Teachers Pay Teachers are a little better. So, and honestly, I think they're cheaper too on Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you look, you can see all the different types of subjects that are available to you for boom cards. So, if I were to use this, for the free one, I hit assign and then fast pin. So I just generate the pin for my students. So then I use it for 14 days. So even if like one day my kids do one thing and another day the kids do another, they can still use it for up to 2 weeks. So they can even do this at home for your remote learners too. Can do this from home because it's just the website, and then there's also the app on the iPads as well. So 3078. So if your kids use this, when they go in, you just click on the fast play button, and then they just type in the pin. The only thing I don't like about boom cards is it is very specific. So if it has a lowercase letter, it has to be a lowercase letter, or an uppercase, it has to be an uppercase. So that's the one thing I found that my kids struggle with, is making sure that they get the right letter. Like if they have a problem with P's and Q's and they're switching them, I've found a lot of my kids will hit that instead of the other, and then B's and D's the same. So that's the only thing.
Do they have a sign-in like iStation? Do they have to sign in?
No, they can just do a fast pin. So if you're doing the free version, you have to do the fast pin, so this way. But if you do have a paid account, then your kids would have their own specific logins. So that's kind of thing I like about this, is because it's free. I don't have to worry about them having all their own passcodes for anything. So if I use it, then I play. Okay, so this is what these specific decks look like. So then there's a little thing thing right here where the lady will give you
These
directions.
words all have the long A sound, but it's spelled in different ways. A-I, A-Y, or A with a silent E. Read and sort these words.
So they, when they click, now on an iPad they will click and drag it. So it doesn't actually tell you the words, but like I said, they're looking at the spelling. So then they just click and drag throughout the whole, all the letters. So then when they're ready and they have all the letters down, they hit submit.
Oops.
But see, they didn't get it right. So then they have to go. But then, if you notice when I did that, it had a blue circle for the ones that weren't right, and it still had the green for the ones that were correct. So they could get an idea of where they were right, where they weren't right. But then, so once they have it completely done, it'll give them a, like, yay sound. And then they can go
These
to the
words
next
all have the long A sound, but it's spelled in different ways. A-I, A-Y, or A with a silent E. Read and sort these words.
Sorry, no, wrong one. But again, each card has directions for what they're supposed to do on that card. So they just go and click on it, and so this one, I would guess it's what one matches. So then most of the decks have about 20 different cards. And what's nice is each card is just a little different. So then they have ones like this. So and every time you play, it shuffles them. So it's never going to be the exact same every time they play with the cards. So once they go through and have gone through all 20 or however many cards there are, it'll say, yay, you finished, and tell them how many cards they got right out of the entire deck. So, any questions?
So you use our little
iPads.
iPads.
And I've had Phil ask him to put it in the self-serve, and it's an app. So then when they open the app, it's that very front page that you saw. Let me go back to. So it'll just open this right here. So then all they have to do is go click Fast Play. So like I said, if it's a free account. But then if not, they would go and log in through the actual student section.
Could you do sight words?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do with the sight words with it? 'Cause
So,
that would be awesome for sight
No,
words.
if I have, let me see if I have sight word ones in my, like I said, I had a lot of sound cards.
And maybe search for
I don't have any
Can
sight
you
word
make your
ones.
own?
You can't. So on this account, on the free one, so that's my purchase. Self-published. I haven't really created any, but you can create up to 5 of your own and put on here. But then on the paid account, there's like 2 different levels where you can create as many as you want to. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a lazy teacher, and I like to go ahead and purchase ones that are already made.
Well,
And
they're
use them,
fancy.
And they're really nice. Like I said, the Learning at the Primary Pond is the one where I have a lot of hers, and she has the really nice ones like you saw that have different buttons, and like I said, I just like
she
to
might
interact.
have them for
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
sight words.
And like I said, I haven't actually looked at sight word ones, so that's one I'd have to really look at. But I mean, you can see all the different subjects. I'm sure there's ones for sight words too. And like you said, I go on Teachers Pay Teachers, and so I just search boom cards and then like what I want out of the boom cards, and it'll just pop up. So then once you get it, it just gives you like a code, and it downloads straight into all the ones that you purchase. Download straight into your library.
They're kind of cool.
They're really fun.
How
I
much are
really
they
like
on
them.
Teachers Pay Teachers?
Well, expensive. So the ones I bought before, I buy them kind of sparingly. So the Learning at the Primary Pond ones I've gotten before, it comes with like, I think it came with like 12 or 15 different ones, so the long vowels, but I think it was like anywhere from like $13 to $15.
Well, that's not bad.
But again, they stay in your library forever once you've bought them, so
Yeah,
you can
not
use
to
them
be
for
purchased.
years.
We
Yeah.
could probably like have one of us.
Right.
do it, and we all just have the same
Mhm.
account. We all just share. The
Because
same
it's fast play, so as long as you
Yeah.
have the pin, you can use it on anywhere on an iPad, on a laptop, or anything. So yeah, you can honestly have one account and just share it. Mhm.
That would be the way to go, and then
Yeah.
we could each buy stuff and throw it on there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Put it on our.
And what's nice about this one, so let me log out. What's nice about this is that what I did to make my account is I just signed in with Google. So I just signed in with Google, so then that way it just, because like all your school ones are already there, so it just automatically gets you an account without having to go in and like fill out everything,
Yeah.
which is nice. And I use my personal only because if I were to switch schools, then I still have my account for Boom Cards, and I don't have to use my school
Yes.
Google.
I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Always.
Yeah, because like I know even like my mom's a second grade teacher. She's the one that told me about Boom Cards, and so
Yeah.
she can use it in second grade. I know there's tons of like so even like your high kids who really do well with vowel sounds and stuff. Like even the ones I did, they could easily do.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I said, like it's nice. It's just click and drag, and they don't have to really. And as far as I know, some of the math ones they do have to type, but the keyboard will pop up and they can type in it. So, but yeah, it's
Very
really
cool.
fun.
So if we want to set this up, will you help us?
Oh yeah, I'll totally help you set it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Check
cool.
my time really quick. Please be 13 minutes. They're gonna see that, but oh well.
I mean, it's right up.
Any other questions? I can show you more decks. I'll show you a math one. So I gotta go.
This is Shanna.
So many.
So when you search then on Teachers Pay Teachers, you just go Boom Cards. And
Yeah. So you know what? I'll show you that.
Are there any free ones? You know, you type in.
I think there are if you just ask, if you just type it in. 'Cause I think I found a couple like free, even just to try and test it out and just try. And I'd even be okay like giving you guys my login and you could just try it with
Just
some of your
test it
kids just to test it out. So that
Oh,
would
we
be.
just got that gift card today.
I know.
There you go.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
it's a red one.
So here we go.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so
we got
I
that
literally-
gift card that we could buy some.
Yeah. So I just searched. Oh, sorry.
coming back over her mom's so she'll be
So I went to Teachers Pay Teachers. I just searched Boom Cards for kindergarten, and it literally just pulls up tons
That's
of
awesome.
Boom Cards.
That would help us use our iPads.
Yes.
Mhm. Yes. And like I said, so if you were to get to the point where you have a paid account, it will track their data for you.
Okay.
So then that way, so every deck that they play, basically, it puts it in their account. So like if you're working on addition, like 1 through 5 addition, you can see the kids who have mastered like maybe 1 addition, and then the kids who are still struggling with the 1+.
How much does it
Edition.
cost if you do a paid account?
I can show you that too. Okay, there we go. So this is the one I have, just the starter one because it's free. So like I said, fast play. Every single one will still use fast play. So if you just have a day where you're just wanting the kids to just practice something real quick, you can still just do that. So basic is still very similar to the free. However, you still can have up to 3 different classrooms and 50 kids. This one, I believe, is one of the most popular ones. So you can have up to 150 kids. You can do as many unlimited self-made decks, so that's where you actually use Boom Cards, like thing, and you can make your own decks if you can't find any. And then live monitoring, so you can watch what your kids are doing as they're working on it too. So then the old, I think once you hit Power Plus and Ultimate 2 though, those are the ones where it will record all the data.
So,
I
like-
think the Power one does it, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
If you clear a class, like I put all my kids in
Mhm.
this year and I clear it.
Yeah.
Does that add up to 50? Like then I have
No,
to-
I think once you clear students,
Okay.
it'll reset and get rid of them. So let's say you had, so there's 5. So each of you had a classroom in this, and then it can have up to 150 students. So then you maybe Callie decides I don't want to use this anymore, so she can delete her class, and then you'd still have 3 classrooms attached.
Okay.
So
The nice thing would be too for progress monitoring for
Yes.
like MTSS. Like
Mhm.
if you could track that and show that they're not
So it
able
would
to
be
work
nice.
independently at all.
what I would love is that if I could show this to all grade levels, and then they just
Mhm.
purchase the school one.
There you go.
Because if you purchase the school one, then everybody has access to those reports and to the progress monitoring and everything that the highest one is going to give you.
Yeah.
So, because it would just be a nice way for, like you said, in between like fall and winter progress monitoring dates, and then fall or winter and spring times.
Just like for if you have a kid that's traveling
Mhm.
through the MTSS process.
Right. Well, like because we only have so many that get to go to the tier.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a way for us. It would be a fun way for the kids to like practice their skills without having to go into
Yes.
tier.
Yeah.
Too. So, and like I said, my kids like every time they do it once and they come back and they're like, "Hey, I'm done." I'm like, "Okay, well you can either do it again or they can read." And half of them will always choose to do it again, just because it's really fun for them. Because, like I said, it's flashcards, but they're interactive. So they're not just sitting there like, when they have flashcards for like math, they're like, "Okay, what's 2 plus 2?" and they flip it over. And then this one, it's physically making them
Mm-hmm.
use their brains and
Well,
use
it
their
tells
muscles.
them if they're right or wrong.
Exactly, and that's what I like is that it tells them, "Hey, you're right. You can go to the next one," or "Hey, you're wrong. This go back and see," and it circles what they need to fix. So, any other questions?
I think it's pretty cool actually.
It's really cool. This is the one I really was like, this is the one I like a lot.
I don't think
So-
my kids do it. I think high school.
Probably.
They
Oh
have-
yeah, I mean,
They
if
have
you
different
notice,
boom cards that they suggest to study for different
Mhm.
things.
yeah, because if you noticed in all over here, I mean, it's got stuff for every type. I mean, even speech therapy and occupational therapy for your students who need
Mm-hmm.
those type of
Skills.
yeah, I can't think of the word.
Interventions.
Interventions. There we go. Yes, thank you. But yeah, and like I said, so like most of these I purchased 3 years ago,
Okay.
and they're just sitting there, even with the free account.
Okay.
So that's the nice part.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Very cool. Thank you.
Oh, best. Oh yeah.